There is one common feature that characterizes over 80% of African homes, that our parents own vast tracts of land, a lot of property that does not generate any money, a huge tract of land that is not giving them any cash flows. And in their retirement or in their inactive years, we have to struggle to keep everything afloat. Our parents don't have cash flows. You may have a sibling who still wants to depend or needs to depend on the parents. And yourself, you have grown into a system that justifies not giving your people money because you call it a black tax. And taxes are offensive to many of us. How do we make such properties or wealth that is with zero cash flow? How can we monetize? How can we make cash flow out of that? Because not until we make money out of those assets or those properties, then we have to fend for the families and our siblings. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is O'Brien Daku. We continue on making such dead assets or dead wealth cash flow generating assets after 3 seconds break. Welcome back. When our parents have those huge tracts of land which are not generating any cash flows, and we have a second problem, that we as their children, we are looking at that land or our parents' property as our inheritance. And we are faced with a second problem of our justification of support to our siblings and parents as black tax, which we are not willing to do. We want to eat our cake and still have it. We are looking at their land, which should be their means, as our inheritance, while we want to run away from supporting the same people. How do we solve that problem? Number one, we must accept each one to live on their own means. Each individual, so long as you are healthy and whole, you should defend for your means. Our parents did their part. They worked, they educated us, and they accumulated what they have. To let our parents live within their means, if they do not have any cash flows and they have such property, well, that is not generating cash flow, we have to devise a method on how we can make those assets generate cash flow. And option number one is you create a project on that land that generates money enough to support them and leave cash for yourself. That could be an agricultural activity. It could be any other form of project. But remember, this is a communal property. It belongs to the family. So your brothers and sisters, your siblings, have an entitlement to it. So it cannot be a project that outlives the parents in the sense that it might be assumed you are assuming it. It will bring a lot of problem. Option number two is allowing the parents to enjoy their means, where we are going to convert this wealth into money. We sell it. And we are selling with these two things in mind. One, this is an inheritance. So to avoid problems among the siblings, so that we retain the inheritance, and if possible we increase it, we are going to sell the land and invest that money in an investment opportunity that protects that money or that capital against loss, any form of loss, but generates sufficient income or income that can support the parents. In this sense, When we preserve the capital, we are preserving the inheritance so that we maintain peace among the siblings. And in this case, we would require some formal education and assurance that everyone will have their peace once the parents are gone. Number two, we are generating cash flows out of that investment that will be sustaining the parent, our parents to live on their means. An example, we have sold the land. Let's assume an amount of 3 million as an example. We put this money, the 3 million, in an opportunity that guarantees an income. Let's assume a modest return of 10%. The guarantee in this question is to ensure that we will not miss out. And that's why we have gone for a moderate amount of 10%. And number two, we are protecting the capital because of the inheritance question. And number four, we are looking at a fixed income. It should not fluctuate as a guarantee for an income to the parents. So let's assume we have purchased a bond. An example, a fixed income security. This bond is paying us 10%. Yes, of course, bonds pay semi-annually. After every 6 months, we'll have an amount to the settlement account. Once we have received, because a 10% of 3 million will be 300,000, meaning that we shall receive 150,000 in the first after the first 6 months, and another 150,000 at the expiry of the second half of 6 months. But our point here is the income that we are receiving as a lump sum need to be consumed over a period of time. Should cover 6 months. The first coupon, the second coupon should cover another 6 months. So what do? We now put these lump sum amount into another opportunity because we need it protected so that we don't lose it or we don't misuse it. And number three, we also need it protected against inflation because it's an amount that will last us over a period of months or a period of time. So we are putting it in an opportunity that will guard inflation, will guard against capital loss, and if possible should also give us a growth or an increment in that amount because we have a portion that will be used after 6 months, another for after 12 months, 11 months, 10 months, because the 300,000 will cover our whole year, meaning that we have secured an income of 25,000 shillings for our parents on a monthly basis. So now, we will put this money in an account, for example, a money market fund that is allowing us a monthly withdrawal, a monthly drawdown. We have 300,000 in that account, or 150,000 that will last 6 months, and another 150,000 that will last the other 6 months. We make a drawdown of 25,000 each month. And by so doing, we'll have that income lasting our parents for a whole year. Then out of that, the 25,000 will be utilized by the parents in their own way. If they want to support a sibling who doesn't have a good stable income, it's their money. What we have done, we have secured an income for our parents. That's number one. We have prevented the dreaded black tax. Number three, we have secured the inheritance because the capital that we have invested is protected against loss. That way, we will have given our parents a lifeline, and we have also freed ourselves from leakage of our money towards the parents in the name of black tax. Then there has to be a cushion, and that is where we have mentioned the guarantee so that the capital need not be touched. Capital is like a tree that is bearing fruits. You need the fruits to live on. That is the income. The tree should be left intact. In any case, we will prune it, we will weed it to ensure that the income, the fruit increases. We should never cut the tree. We should never consume that capital. It has to be protected. In any case, the only thing we can do is increase the number of trees, build the forest to increase the fruits that will cover our increased expenses. Welcome to my channel. If it has value, give a thumbs up to the video, share the information. Give me a comment. Those are parameters that the algorithm relies on to share this kind of information to other people.